Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. It's a Hay House product. I'm not aware of a website, but there probably is one somewhere. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. There is a website for this, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. It's down over here. So if you want to search that out, there's that information. Okay. What do we have for Taurus? How many cards are we going to take out of the deck? Are we going to put the whole deck out here? Like, what's going on? There's a lot. Why do we have so many? We'll find out, I guess. Okay. So, starting off, it's a situation. It's situational. What do we mean? I don't know about anybody creating the circumstance. Is it just like something's happening? It's almost like the weather happening, almost. Like this is what's happened, so this is how we have to react to it. Because what we're going into, these are the leading cards. Balance, fruition, and the Nine of Inspiration is the Nine of Wands, which is like holding the line. I believe that's the holding the line one. Kind of like this is where things need to be. Fruition is inspiration. Fruition and balance. This all comes forward and just kind of like, this is how it's been. This is how we have to keep going. This is what needs to happen next. But I feel like in order to keep it going, in order to hold the line, to keep the situation going, that's when you're kind of like, okay, wait a minute. It's kind of like you're seeing it out from the distance. Kind of like, we want to keep going like this. We want to keep going like this. We want to keep going like this. But I see that out there. I see like there's a bump in the road. Something isn't right up there. So we need to kind of get information about that before we get there. Because it comes in with attraction with the Emperor. And I'm getting kind of like, before we hit this roadblock, I know something's not right. I've heard from other people, something doesn't look right up there. We have to get some information about what's going on up there. What is going on? The attraction with the Emperor especially, kind of like, the reason you're attracted to it quite literally is because I don't want it in my way. I don't want that stopping the show. Somebody go up there and find out what's really happening so we can deal with it and get it out of the way. Get it out of the way before I have to deal with it. Like, okay? There's something else with this. Because I feel like we're also kind of like, all right, and I also want to know if we can't get it out of the way, I might have to take an alternate route. I don't want to, but I want to know now if I have to do that. Because I'll plan for it. I'll move things around. It's because I feel like I'm avoiding it, but I feel like this is going to require an alternate route. I think I'm trying to avoid it, though. And I'm like, do we have to do that? If I have to do that, I want to plan for it. I want to plan. It's like one of my wants. Do I need to? Sooner or later we will need to, is what I'm getting. So, what's going on with the bump in the road? Okay, so we got the Nine of Pentacles. That's a good energy. But there's something is up. Something's up. Because I feel like why they're giving the Nine of Pentacles on the top is they're saying this is not something that is going to seem great to begin with, but in the long run, it's kind of like when you look back and you're like, I didn't like that when that happened, but because that happened, I actually ended up in a better place. It's going to be one of those situations. It's kind of like when you're trying to buy a house and then the financing falls through and you couldn't get that house. But because you couldn't get that house, you had to go for something else, and what you actually did end up with, which much better than you expected. It's kind of like I wasn't happy that I couldn't have the house I wanted back then. That made me very upset. But because of that, that's the reason I was open to this better opportunity, because if I had taken that house, I wouldn't have been able to get this second one, this other one instead. So it did work out in my benefit. I think that's what they're saying. Like, you're not going to like this when this happens, and I'm just going to... The Three of Swords is here, which is not a fun card. You're not going to like this bump in the road, this detour, this thing. When it happens, I'm not liking it. But I think when it's all said and done, you'll be able to look back and be like, you know what? That it did actually work in my benefit. Power is here. Something is getting in the way. Something is definitely in the way. And I feel like it's not an expected thing. Finding out what actually is something really strong getting in the way. Literally unexpected. There's a lot of there's like a lot of moving parts, a lot of different pieces. It makes me very unhappy because not only is it blocking my path, it's making finding an alternate route even harder. It's kind of like, well, okay, that's not happening. I can't go this way. All right, fine. I can't go that way. I don't like that either. Oh, I can't go this. It's kind of like I have to go so far out of my way. It makes me really unhappy. I'm getting that energy. Like I'm like, okay, I can't go. Okay, I can't do this. How about nope? Nope. Like my second route, my third route. Like, all right. I mean, all right. I still can get around this. It's just I have to go way out of my way to do it. I have to go way out of my way. It's something that should take half an hour is now taking 2.5 hours. Both ways. It's like I should be half hour down, a half hour back. Instead, it's 2.5 hours down, 2.5 hours back, and I'm not happy about this. I'm like, that's 5 hours of my day versus 1 hour. Not happy with that. No, I am not okay with this. And I'm not happy. I'm realizing that I have to. I'm also getting the gratitude is this is going to yield something better than expected. But again, when we use this analogy, do not like. I do not like something that should take 1 hour taking 5 hours. I'm not happy. But I'm also getting there's no choice. This is also that situation. The longer you try to fight against it, the more time is going to be wasted. So, it's like trying to find a better way to do this. I feel like just kind of accepting the 2.5 hour trip one way. The sooner you accept that, the less time it takes. Kind of like if I spend an hour trying to find a better way, instead of something taking 5 hours now, it's now just taking 6. We could have saved time to just going with it. Just what, I'm just going to start moving just so I can get it done. The sooner you surrender to it, the better it'll be. Things will work out in the end. I'm not surprised with that. You'll make it work out. You'll put in the extra effort. It will work out in the end. I just feel like they're just giving you this heads up. There's a detour coming up, and it's kind of it's such a detour. It's really throwing off the whole day. Kind of if you were gonna. I'm just thinking for me, when I used to work for this business, I'm thinking of. I had an hour lunch, and I would go do what I had to do because I had an hour to do it. If I no longer can spend just 1 hour doing it, it's going to take 5. Well, I can't do it on my lunch anymore. I'm going to have to move it till after work, and then or I might even have to move it to the weekend. But the sooner I accept it and get through it, everything will go back on plan. Everything will go back on plan, but then again, you're going to make sure it does anyway. You're not going to be satisfied until it is back on plan. So you're going to push it and move it and make sure sooner or later it is on plan again, and you will return it to the correct spot. It's just all this extra, it's throwing off the day. You know what I mean? Instead of me going on my lunch hour, getting everything done, coming back, now I have to either move it to the end of the day, which then that throws other things off, or I have to move it to the weekend, which I don't really want to do that, but if I have to, then I have to. But by the time the week is over, things will be back in line. Now, what's going on here in the environment is there's so many moving pieces. I keep getting this. Whatever the situation is, there's a lot of moving pieces in and out. I'm getting a lot of action. I'm getting a lot of lack of structure. Lack of structure. There's no plan. There's a lot of action that's going nowhere. This is going on. That's going on. None of this matches up. That's a waste of time. I don't know what that's going on. I don't know how this is supposed to help me over here. So I don't want to say it's a complete waste of time action. It's just nothing that's benefiting you or going towards your needs. It's not helping you. All this is going on left and right, here and there, that and this. It's not helping you. I'm getting that with the void in the action. There's a lot going on. A lot of people trying to figure out what they need to do. It says extremes. I'm getting desperation. This right here says extremes. I'm getting desperation. People are desperately trying to change this, do this, whatever this problem is, it seems to affect a lot of people. And they're all going left and right, fixing what they want to fix, doing what they want to do. I'm getting like, just get what you need out of the situation and leave them to their own devices. I just feel like otherwise it's just going to drive you crazy, because people will like, they'll start going this way and then they'll be like, nope, gotta go, no, wait, no, this, wait, that way, wait, maybe if I go back to start. Yeah, I don't know, wait, where am I going? How, what? And I feel like it just, if you try to help and try to like stabilize it, I just feel like it's like, I gave this analogy to somebody just recently. It's like trying to deal with a kindergarten class and having 20 kindergartners and you're just one person and they're all hopped up on like candy and stuff. They're all over the place. It's like madness. It's just kind of like you just got to keep it in the room and just hope they try to keep them off the walls. Just keep your feet on the floor. Don't fight with people. Let's try to read a story. Like, it's crazy kindergartner energy. It's kind of like you have 20 kindergartners and just you're like, At least in my case, I think I'd cry. Like, oh my God, I don't know what I'd do. That's the energy you're dealing with, like, everywhere. They're hopped up on candy. They're going everywhere. They're everywhere. Oh my gosh. I don't even like that analogy. I'm like, oh, it sounds scary to me. I gave that to someone earlier in the week, too. I don't remember who. Move on from this as soon as you can. All you need to do is keep working on your plan and getting your plan back on point. I'm struggling for this too, because I feel like people are asking you for help. I just feel like that's going to take you off plan and take you off plan. I feel like we have to disconnect from this. We've got to return focus to your plan. It's going to be stressful because people keep wanting your help. I feel like you got to find a way, like, listen, go do that. Once you get that under control, I have to get my own stuff under control first. You have to get your own stuff under control first. Keep that in mind. It's kind of like, when you're in the airplane situation and they're like, you got to secure your own mask before you help anybody else, because if you pass out trying to help somebody else, you're out of the picture and you're not probably going to be very effective helping them if you passed out before you were able to help them. Secure your own mask first, then secure other people's. And they're saying that with this. This is one of those situations. Like, it's not selfish. You just can't help other people till you help yourself. Secure your situation. Get your stuff on point first. Tell them you'll get back to them. But secure your situation first. I feel like that's, rudimentary. That's basic. That's basic logic. And I feel like for Taurus, you're like, yeah, I know that. But for some reason, I feel like people keep pulling you and pulling you. It's kind of like 20 kindergartners coming at you all at once. It's hard to like, all right, listen, y'all need to sit down and listen to the story. And just be like, I have to go to the bathroom. Then you go to the bathroom and the rest of you sit down. And like, I have to go to the bathroom too. You're going to wait till she comes back. Just sit down and wait till the story's over. Like, I feel like this is what I'm dealing with. It's very like, it's all... Like, you got to keep bringing it back to ground zero, which it seems like it's a challenge. Kind of like, only if it's life and death, okay, you go to the restroom, you wait, you're next. And then I'll get in line there, but you sit down and listen to the story until your turn is ready. You just have to keep bringing it back to the base level. You got to do yours first, and I keep getting that. For some reason, the energy keeps trying to pull you off fixing your own thing first, but you need to fix your own thing first. And I almost feel like there might be some guilt with that. Kind of like, I feel guilty taking care of my own stuff before helping these other people. You're not going to be as effective until yours is back in line. Once yours is back in line, then you can start helping other people. Taurus is usually pretty good at that, I thought, but for some reason I keep getting you, people keep trying to pull you off that. And it's like a lot of distractions. You might have to find a way to, like, for example, if people keep calling you, maybe turning off your cell phone until you for an hour at a time. I don't know. Because I'm getting here assessing with the purity. You have to get your own under control, and then you got to help one at a time. I'm getting that too. Like, kind of like, I'll help one at a time. One at a time. And whoever needs the most help, I'll start with you first. And you got to keep your own on. If you keep coming back to yours, make sure yours stays on point. I'll come over and help you. And you keep going back till that one's on point. And you're like, all right, now that I've helped you, you got to stay on point and also try to help somebody else. So you not only want to put your own in, you want to put your own in order first. Help somebody you think is capable of helping others. And kind of like, all right, let's center on yours. Let's get you back on point. keep yours on point and try to help somebody else, but like don't let your own come off base, and we keep building like that. There's a lot of craziness going on with this. Like my head is kind of starting to spin here. I'm like, what is going on? Whatever it is, it keeps like there's a lot of moving parts and things keep going off. I know this, for a lot of you, I feel like until it happens, it seems very like obvious. Like, oh yeah, I got to fix my own first before I can help others. But the energy is coming off left and right. And I feel like you kind of have to have that mental touch base. Like, no, I got to fix mine first. And then I got to try to help somebody who can also help others first. And then when I get them up to par, we can both try to help other people. And we got to try to get this under control that way. This is a crazy situation. I think this is a crazy situation because I'm not used to this energy with Taurus. Taurus is so ordered and so structured that this energy, I keep questioning it. Like, are we sure? They're like, no. Whatever the roadblock is, it's that crazy. It just keeps throwing things off that you have to kind of like bring yourself back to your own center and keep building from it. You have to keep reminding yourself because people keep pulling you. It will get back under control at some point. But I feel like a big piece of this also is kind of like, don't let that guilt weigh in on you. Like, you know, everybody's like, I need you now, Taurus. I need you now, Taurus. Don't let that guilt weigh in on you. You have to fix your own first. And then again, they're saying choose the ones who can help help others as well. I'm going to help that one first because if I help them, once they're fixed and on point, they can also help others the way I'm helping others. And we can start building that way. Okay, there's two of us helping people now. And I'll tell them, hey, whoever you are, I helped you because I know you can help others once you're stable. You do the same. Help somebody who you think once they're stable, they can also help other people. We can start fixing this that way. Because I feel like that's the best point of action. And I feel like if we have this plan, it's a very bare minimum plan. But if we have at least that plan going forward, we can move on from this and try to make this better as soon as possible. And when it's all said and done, we can be like, well, we did the best we could, and the way we handled it was a good way to do it. Still crazy. I still feel like the energy is all over the place. I know. You'll let me know in the comments how that turned out. And thank you for everybody who does. I do try to read them as much as possible. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. I've also added the tip information at the bottom. Some people have mentioned they'd like to leave a small tip. If you're interested in that information, it's below. If you're not, still cool. I still thank you for watching. Have a good day.